gives a man his own name?
That's right.
Gods are not mocked. This is no joking thing.
I'm not joking. Man can go kill himself.
Name me.
No.
Please?
One of the most mysterious characters in Game of Thrones is Jaqen H'ghar. If you've read the books, then you probably don't think Jaqen is as interesting. Well, not exactly, interesting isn't the right word, because he's definitely interesting, but Jaqen isn't as involved with Arya's storyline in the books as he is in the show. In the show, Jaqen basically represents the Faceless Guild as a whole. But in the books, after Harrenhal, Arya never sees Jaqen again. He changes his face and winds up in Old Town in the prologue of Feast for Crows. Sam has already left the Citadel, and because they had Jaqen a major part of Arya's Braavosi storyline, it's kind of confusing to decipher whether he will return in Season 8. Now, I thought Jaqen would appear in Season 7 because the Balkan Insight did an interview with him, and they said he would appear in the 7th season. But that could have been a simple error. He could have said he wasn't done filming yet, and he was still under contract or something like that, and they could have interpreted that as he would appear in Season 7 when really he would appear in Season 8. Or it could be fake news altogether and no one knows anything about anything. But anyway, in the books, there were multiple characters together that represented the Faceless Men. But in the show, we only got Jaqen. Jaqen was the show representation of the whole entire Faceless Men Assassins Guild. And after this scene...
Finally, a girl is no one.
A girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell. And I'm going home.
You could interpret it as Arya will now represent the Faceless Men as a whole in the show, as Jaqen did before her. Like, Jaqen's torch has now passed to Arya, or whatever she's doing is a representation of the Faceless Men. If that makes any sense at all, probably not. Like, the show could totally go in that direction and we could never see Jaqen again. But I would like to think Jaqen is coming back, and I'd like to tell you why I think this. Firstly, we have to look at more than Jaqen. Even though the show has only showed us Jaqen, the secret order of the Faceless Men goes way beyond Jaqen. We have to go to the heart of who they are, what they do, what they want. I did a whole in-depth video about the House of Black and White and the Faceless Men. I'll link it off in the top right-hand corner so you can watch that if you haven't. But the Faceless Men are an ancient order dating back before the doom of Valyria. The first Faceless Man was rumored to be a Valyrian slave that toiled in the mines of Valyria. The Faceless Men are servants of the Many-Faced God, and the Many-Faced God gives the gift of release, and the gift of release is death. There's nothing more final than death. But what if you could die and be enslaved to live forever and have your body and mind used to fight in an eternal battle of ice and fire? That sounds like bad business for the Many-Faced God and the worshippers that give this gift. To die but still not have release seems like it cheats the Many-Faced God. Enslavement even after death seems like a thing that would be despised by the followers of the Many-Faced Gods. But in the words of Quaithe, to go forward, we must go back to the very beginning. So Jaqen meets Arya while she's traveling to the wall with Yoren. Jaqen had been in the black cells of the Red Keep. The black cells of the Red Keep are reserved for the worst criminals. Ned Stark was in those very black cells for treason. Treason is a very serious crime, worse than murder, but why was Jaqen there? Why was a servant of the Many-Faced God in the black cells of the Red Keep? You have to assume that as skilled as we know that he is, he wanted to be there. Did he want to go to the wall? Did he know that Yoren would be coming down to collect some prisoners from the dungeon? Perhaps. I looked into a lot of different things that led down different roads that winded up being dead ends. I think his original destination was the wall, and I think he was trying to gain information on the White Walkers or this rumored Long Night. The House of Black and White is on the Isle of Gods in Braavos. On this isle, there is a huge red temple of Rolor. Not as huge as the one in Volantis, but I'm assuming that the rumors of this long night and this great other that will bring about eternal darkness may have reached the House of Black and White, and Jaqen was sent to investigate the validity of such a thing. Where better to investigate the legitimacy of the Night King and his undead army than the Wall? The Wall is the first defense against the Night King, and the Night's Watch was an order that was specifically put in place to protect the realm basically from what lies beyond the Wall. But it's a long trek to the Wall, and the safest way to travel to the Wall is with the Brothers in Black. The ancient history and legends of the Wall has a lot to do with the children of the forest, the giants, and the first men, and how they threw back the long night the first time it came to visit. So why not go there if that's what you're seeking information on? On Jaqen's way to the Wall, of course, he's held up at Harrenhal and he doesn't get there. But he could have easily changed his face and went to the Wall after being captured and recruited. But he doesn't go to the Wall. What I think happened is he found out what the Wall was. And like Jon did before him, it wasn't really what he thought it would be. And along his travels, listening to people talk and seeing what was going on, he realized that if he really wanted information, he needs to go to Old Town. When Jaqen changes his face, he winds up in Old Town disguised as an alchemist. He pays Pate a gold coin that's poisoned for a key that unlocks every door at the Citadel. He kills Pate and takes his face. Surely no one whispered Pate's name to the Many-Faced God, so at this moment, Jaqen is killing people for another purpose that serves the Many-Faced God all the same. In season 7, Samwell basically pulls a very Pate-Jaqen move. He steals the key from a maester as he sleeps and raids the library for books about the Long Night and other things. Special books. Sam's reason for going to the Citadel is to find information about the Long Night, which I think is Jaqen's same reason for being there. There is also evidence, however, that does support the possibility of some kind of Valyrian dragon conspiracy as to why Jaqen is at the Citadel. But Jaqen hasn't left the Citadel. He's still there hanging out with Pate's face, and he's hanging out with Marwyn the Mage. Marwyn is going to meet with Daenerys. Sam is already in the north, but people will be flooding Winterfell for refuge, and maybe Jaqen will infiltrate that way. I do think if Jaqen appears, he will lend some kind of special knowledge to help defeat the Night King. I think cheating death or a salvation that doesn't come from death really undermines everything the Faceless Men stand for. I think Jaqen will either be disguised as someone else and then reveal himself to Arya. I don't think he will kill her. I think she will kill him. His name is owed to the Many-Faced God. She spoke his name at Harrenhal. Once a name is given, nothing can change that.
The Many-Faced God was promised a name. He must always receive what is his. You can't change that. I can't change that. No one can.
Even though Arya unnamed him, I don't think that changes anything. She has to do her duty. And I feel like Jaqen might tell her, like, yeah, my time is up. Do what you gotta do. But what do you guys think? Are we done with Jaqen? And is Arya now the embodiment of the Faceless Men as Jaqen was before her? Or will Jaqen return to help with the Long Night and for Arya to kill him? Or will he come back for a whole nother purpose? We give the gift to those marked by him of many faces, after prayers and sacrifice. So has it always been from the beginning. I have told you of the founding of our order, of how the first of us answered the prayers of slaves who wished for death. The gift was given only to those who yearned for it in the beginning. But one day, the first of us heard a slave praying, not for his own death, but for his master's. So fervently did he desire this, that he had offered all he had, that his prayer might be answered. And it seemed to our first brother that this sacrifice would be pleasing to him of many faces. So that night he granted the prayer. Then he went to the slave and said, "You offered all you had for this man's death, but slaves have nothing but their lives. That is what the gods desire of you. For the rest of your days on earth you will serve him." And from that moment we were two. His hands closed around her arm gently but firmly. All men must die. We are but death's instruments, not death himself. Valar Morgulis. I need to know what you guys think. I need to see Jaqen again, and I think there's an opportunity here for us to see him, but what do you think? As always, thanks for watching. Like this video if you like it. Please click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.